This is the morning edition of News at 10. I'm Dixie Whatley. The president issued the standard defense of his economic policies in his weekly radio message Saturday. He said that while unemployment is too high, interest rates and inflation have come down. And he said his program needs more time to work. Reagan is also featured in TV ads for Republican candidates that started airing today. In the commercials, he accuses Democrats of using cruel scare tactics and urges Americans to vote for hope, not despair. Senator Edward Kennedy responded to the president's call, saying patience will not put food on the table. Kennedy gave the Democratic radio response from the home of an unemployed Massachusetts auto worker. Referring to Reagan's attempts to blame the Democrats for the nation's economic problems, Kennedy said it's time for Reagan to take responsibility for his own record. Illinois Attorney General Tyrone Fauner today urged fugitive James Lewis to turn himself in and said if Lewis is innocent in the cyanide Tylenol case, investigators will help him to prove it. The appeal came in response to a letter Lewis sent to Chicago Tribune maintaining his innocence in the 7 Chicago area cyanide deaths. Lewis is wanted in a $1 million extortion attempt against Johnson & Johnson, the Tylenol manufacturer. Well, Halloween is the night for ghouls, but in several American towns they struck early, sabotaging candy with staples, pins, razor blades. Some New York and New Jersey hospitals offered to X-ray Halloween treats, and Detroit police provided metal detectors to check candy. All the items checked proved to be candy and nothing else. 11 children from an area northeast of Sacramento have been stricken with a rare kidney disease. Doctors say all but 2 have recovered, and those 2 are improving in hospitals. The outbreak of the disease brought medical investigators from the Centers for Disease Control in Atlanta and state epidemiologists in the city to study blood samples. The cause of the ailment is unknown, but one specialist said a bacterium in unpasteurized apple juice was implicated in a recent outbreak in Canada. Locally, Vice President George Bush in the Southland, for a bit of last-minute electioneering, says the nation is on the verge of total economic recovery. Speaking at a rally for Republican congressional candidate John Russolo, the vice president said the country has, quote, come through the worst. Bush notes that he has a, quote, keen personal interest in seeing the conservative Arcadia Republican who served with Bush when the pair were in Congress remain in office. Despite indications that his early lead has nearly vanished, Tom Bradley expressed confidence Saturday that he would make history Tuesday by becoming the first elected black governor in the United States. Speaking to reporters after a statewide radio address, the Democratic mayor of Los Angeles predicted little would happen before Election Day to change the outcome of his race against Republican Attorney General George Duke Majan. Said Bradley, I doubt that 3 days before the election anything new and significant is going to happen to cause any shift of any size. A Long Beach newspaper reports that the Internal Revenue Service was investigating U.S. Senate nominee Pete Wilson's controversial tax shelter a year before the San Diego mayor made his $10,000 investment. A spokesman for the Republican candidate says Wilson had not known of the IRS investigation or that one former investigator in the Texas project had to pay nearly $38,000 in back taxes. Meanwhile, Wilson's Democratic opponent, Governor Jerry Brown, has called for Wilson to, quote, stop stonewalling and pay about $24,000 in back taxes. John DeLorean, the silver-haired automaker who is charged with cocaine trafficking and racketeering, has secluded himself in a swank Beverly Hills hotel following his release from Terminal Island Prison. He was released yesterday after posting $10 million in bail. Actress Eileen Brennan is in stable condition at a Los Angeles area hospital. She's recovering from injuries suffered when she was hit by a car Wednesday night. Brennan plays Captain Lewis on the TV series Private Benjamin. And until she's back, Polly Holliday, also known as Flo on the series Alice, will create a new character on Private Benjamin to keep the show going. This is going to be an E.T. Halloween for many youngsters, and the manufacturers of products based on the popular film character couldn't be happier. E.T. costumes are selling like hotcakes this year, from latex masks costing from $40 to $55 to costume patterns in the $5 range. It's all because of the youngsters' affection for the wrinkled star of Steven Spielberg's hit movie, E.T. the Extraterrestrial. And in sports, UCLA coasted past Oregon 40-12. In Corvallis, Oregon, Saturday, California rolled to a 28-14 win over Oregon State. Turning to the weather, Los Angeles will have occasional light drizzle with the rain probability decreasing to about 10% today. The high will be right around 69 degrees. Monday will be sunny and warmer with highs in the mid-70s. Low tonight, upper 50s. This has been the morning edition of News at 10. I'm Dixie Whatley.